What is up, my friends? Good afternoon, and you are very welcome along to today's Anfield Agenda Transfer News Roundup. Today, we're going to be talking about the possible departure of Harvey Elliott, believe it or not. I'm not joking. There's genuinely a story out there that's saying that. We're going to be speaking about Omar Marmoush, Darwin Nunez, Alexander Isak winning the Player of the Month, that and a few other interesting bits and pieces over the next few minutes. Of course, I want to know your thoughts, so let me know below. And you know the rest, I'm not going to go through it. You know what I'm about to say. So let's just get straight into the news because there's a lot to go through. So, breaking news coming out of Sky Sports said that Brighton and Borussia Dortmund are among the clubs keeping tabs on Harvey Elliott with his lack of minutes under Arne Slot setting alert bells ringing in the Premier League. And this has been backed up by a few other stories. And I have to say, I will lose my mind if Liverpool get rid of Harvey Elliott because he just simply hasn't been given the opportunity. Last night was a prime example of this. Many of us were asking how Jones remained on the pitch where Elliott was left on the bench. And again, we're going to be told by the manager, I'm sure, and everybody else that everything's great, everything's fine, nothing to see here. But what's the point of having players that the manager doesn't want to use? Now, you might say, Craig, you're making Arne Slot's point there for him, but Elliott can make a difference. And I think most of us would agree with that. At least he could offer us something different in that attacking midfield role or in the space between the lines behind the front three. So, I'm kind of frustrated with this one. I did not expect to wake up today and start to read these stories, but I want to know what you think. Surely there is no world where Liverpool are silly enough to sell Harvey Elliott because he deserves some chances. Certainly in my mind and any Liverpool fans I've spoken to. So I want to know your thoughts on it. Let me know in the comment section. I don't even know how to go about valuing him, by the way, because it's honestly something I've never thought of. Now, there has been a Michael being taken, for want of a better phrase, and for me not wanting to swear here, but someone's taken the proverbial here because Alexander Isak is the Premier League Player of the Month, which in any other month would be fine, and we wouldn't really make too much of a furore about it or, kick up too much of a fuss about it. But this is in the month where Mohamed Salah beat the Premier League goal and assist record of all time. So how can you do that in a month and not be acknowledged for it? Isak's a brilliant player, nobody's trying to say otherwise, and he's had a fantastic month and he's helped Newcastle in their revival over the last 5 or 6 games. But come on, how do you not reward the man that has literally rewritten the record books? It just seems like it's anti-Mohamed Salah or anti-Liverpool nonsense yet again, and I just don't appreciate it as a Liverpool fan. I just don't. No bad intent towards Isak or Newcastle or their fans. Great club, great player, but in this one particular month, it should have been an open and shut case. Liverpool's flight, by the way, last night back from London to John Lennon Airport had to be diverted to Birmingham, believe it or not, because of an icy runway, which meant that the Liverpool players had to then take ground transportation back to Liverpool and didn't arrive back until the early hours, which meant training today was cancelled. So that nightmare trip just carried on going as the night went on. So look, the most important thing here is that Arne Slot and the players are home safe with their families, and that is the most important thing about that whole story. And also Rodrigo Bentancur has posted an update as well. He gave a thumbs up and is in hospital alert and awake with his family, which of course is great news after last night. If you joined us for the watch along, it was heartening to see, of course, everybody's concerns at that time was just on making sure Bentancur got the medical treatment that he needed, and nobody cared how long the game was paused or whatever. He's home, or he's with his family, in the hospital and giving a thumbs up. So again, that is great news and we're delighted to hear it. Omar Marmoush, we know the way Manchester City are in from this January. Well, Frankfurt don't want to sell in January unless they get a ridiculous price, and that ridiculous price is 80 million euro, according to reports coming out of Germany. Now, it's known that he can be gotten for 50 or so million euro in the summertime, but if anybody, including Manchester City, wants to come in to get him in January, well, Eintracht Frankfurt have set the price at an absolutely eye-watering 80 million euro for Omar Marmoush. It'll be interesting to see whether that triggers Manchester City into action or whether they back off and just think it's not worth the money. From a Liverpool perspective, I don't know what to make about it all, because he would have been right up the top of my list of priorities for a forward if we were to bring one in. So let's wait and see. Now, I suppose to link into that, there was confirmation again today from, I'm just trying to see who this one's from, just so I can, Caught Offside, who said exactly what I've been saying over the past week or two, that Darwin Nunez is available if Liverpool receive a suitable offer. They also go on to say that Arne Slot sat down with him and spoke to him about what he's going to need to do, what he wants to see, more consistency, more action in front of goal, and most importantly, putting that ball in the back of their net. So keep an eye on this situation. If anything happens this month, don't be surprised. Liverpool will accept a suitable offer. Upwards of 50 million is what I'm hearing. So let's wait and see if anybody comes and puts their money on the table. Now, Kvaratskhelia, excuse me, is available in January, according to DiMarzio. PSG are working behind the scenes to try and get a deal done for him. And there have been some reports to suggest Liverpool are interested, but I don't believe that personally. But they are talking about an €80 million price tag. Now, the reason I bring up the whole situation there with Kvaratskhelia is, yes, Liverpool are one of the clubs being mentioned, but also if Napoli do sell Kvaratskhelia, then they want to sign one of Chiesa or Shigova. So if they move on Kvaratskhelia, it looks as if they will turn their attentions to try and sign Chiesa from Liverpool. Now, I don't know what to tell you about the Chiesa situation at Liverpool, because the line coming out of the club and his agent is that he's there, he wants to play, he will be available for selection for Liverpool over the coming weeks. But once again, last night we had Mohamed Salah, who was tiring as the game went on, and the manager just once again didn't bring on the player who he signed. And I can't get away from that. He signed him. He was part of the transfer committee that agreed to bring him in. We were all patient, waiting for him to get up to speed. And yet again, he was shunned and not given any minutes. This, as a Liverpool fan, is really frustrating me, because we're already talking about deficiencies we have in the squad. Now we're talking about deficiencies we have on top of players that the manager won't play. Elliott, Chiesa, just wasting bench space, wasting wages. If he doesn't trust them, why are they on the bench? It's really starting to frustrate me as a fan, but let's wait and see what happens with it. So that is pretty much it from me for this roundup. Now I'm going to go record with David Lynch as soon as I finish this video, and I've got a couple of things to ask him, and that video will be coming out later on this evening at about 6 o'clock or so. So please do keep an eye out for that one. Of course, we'll be talking about last night, talking about transfer stories. There's a rumour going around about Richard Hughes that I'm trying to get some confirmation on, and I don't want to bring it to the video or to the channel until I have more concrete information on it. But either way, I will be back tonight at 8:45 with the late night agenda, where of course we'll go through everything. Keep an eye out for the video dropping a little bit later on with David Lynch. I think 6 o'clock we're going to schedule that one to go out for. And as always, let me know your thoughts on everything I've spoken about in this video, namely the stuff about Harvey Elliott, and of course Liverpool being open to Darwin and Kvaratskhelia availability. Anything else you guys would like us to cover, you know the drill, let us know. And if you want to join us live for Q&A or to have your say, 8:45 tonight for the late night agenda. I'll talk to you soon, my friends. Thank you for watching. Much love.